back on female dating strategies. And guys, I gotta be honest, you need to help me out here. I'm currently smoking a J right now. So it's possible that I'm not reading this or seeing this clearly. So I need some advice up from you guys on this one. Am I crazy, or is this article insane? Oh man, let's get started. It is from Female Dating Strategies, so it's probably insane, but we'll find out. The biology argument is in our favor. So this is a woman talking. So men love to use biology and science to explain away their behaviors. Why do their pee-pees get hard for every woman that walks by? I mean, mine doesn't, but I understand what she's saying. Biology. Why do they lust after underage girls? Biology, duh. They need the most fertile females. Polyamory, rape, perversion, etc. is all argued on the basis of biology. Well, I was watching a lovely nature documentary, and the topic of mating was brought up. Modern human males are absolute biological failures. Yeah, this will get good. No other species gets to mate with no effort. Hold on. Is she really trying to say that men don't have to put effort into mating or sleeping with women? Is she really trying to say that? See, this is why the whole argument where women say it's a double standard, that when women sleep around, they're labeled sluts, and when men sleep around, it's kind of like, okay, oh wow, that guy's a stud. It's because it's not easy. Women don't understand how not easy it is to play this dating game as a man, because women have it so easy. They can sleep with whoever they want. They don't realize that there's only a small minority of men that sleep with a ton of women, and for most men, it's extremely difficult. There's so many rules to the game. There's so many things that if you send this little text the wrong way, you show a little bit of neediness here, you're out. You're done. On online dating, if you have 8 pictures and 7 of them are perfect, but one of them rubs her the wrong way, you're done. If you have great pictures, but your biology says your bio says something that she doesn't like, you're done. So women have no idea about that part, but you know what? Let's just keep going. I don't want to lose focus of her biology argument that we're going to get to here. Only the top males get to mate, and they must all impress the females. Males of other species will even die to get a chance to mate, because that is how much of a privilege it is. So, let me see if I'm understanding her logic. She's saying that men have it easy because you can mate with no effort, which, again, they're not realizing, like I mentioned, how incredibly difficult it can be for men to date. And you guys can probably speak to that, right? You know there's so many rules to this game. Only the top males get to mate, and they must all impress the females. That's pretty much the same in human beings as well. Women, this is what women's hypergamy does. They filter out to where only the highest status men will do. And if another higher status man comes along, that other guy's going to get it. That's exactly what she's talking about here with humans, but she doesn't see it because she's a female. Males of other species will even die to get a chance to mate, because that's how much of a privilege it is. Well, there are men that do some extremely dangerous, difficult jobs to be able to provide for their family. There are men that have, for the history of time, gone to war to serve and protect our country, but also to provide for a family. So, again, her logic's not ringing true with me. Some males must be the strongest, others must make impressive burrows for the female, and others must be beautiful like peacocks. Yet we have human men who expect sex without even having to buy a woman dinner first. So let's go over that first part again. Some males must be the strongest. Yep, that would be the when we talk about the 6 feet. You know, the 6-pack abs and the 6'6". So that covers part of female requirements. Yes, we know that there's those alpha chads, the mega chads, that are just 6'5", totally ripped. Okay, strongest. Others must make impressive burrows for the female. To me, I relate that to they must show that they have the ability to provide like this, a burrow, right? Well, this guy, if he can make a ton of money, he can provide the best burrow, the best house, those assets, right? So again, that's where the guys with all the money are these impressive burrow guys. And others must be beautiful like peacocks. That would be the guys that you could say they're typically like maybe they're the losers, or they don't have any type of career or drive or whatever, but they are the bad boys. They have game, or they have something else. Yeah, so again, that's another factor that we do see. So just like she pointed out here, this is exactly the situation of these 3 types of men are like in human beings, where it's like the 80-20 rule, where that 20% of men, they are accounting for basically almost all of the women. And even some of you guys would say it's even less than that now. It's less than 20% of men that are getting most, if not all, of the women because of online dating apps. And I think there's truth to that as well. So it's more like less than 20% of men are getting a majority of the women. Just like she's mentioning here, just like in other species, the same kind of thing, where you might have the alpha that's in charge of the harem, and he gets the women to mate with. Yeah, so we see that same thing in human beings. Females just don't see this. In every other species, those males would never mate and would die alone without passing on their genes. This is pretty much what we're seeing right now. We're seeing most men that get very few, if not any, chances with women. Most men are in this situation that she's talking about. But again, her hypergamy, those men don't even exist in her radar. This is why she looks around and goes, where are all the good men? Where are all the good men at? It's because as she continually tastes the entire buffet of men out there, her standards get higher and higher, and her own hypergamy will not allow her to see those she deems lesser status. They just pass by. She doesn't even know they exist in this world, which, again, most men, especially younger men, fit into that category, and women have no clue. And just to get up right here, yet we have men who expect sex without even having to buy a woman dinner first. You know why? You know whose fault that is? Because we know that women are the gatekeepers of sex and men are the gatekeepers of commitment. Whose fault is that women will sleep with the guy that won't take them out to dinner? That is women's faults. So it's her fault. It's women's fault for sleeping with the guys like that. And but she's gonna blame it on men. And by the way, guys, this whole thing is backwards in itself, because this is all assuming that sex is this great, amazing gift that women give to men. And that mindset is a mindset that I don't live by. Sex is not a gift that a woman gives to a man. Nope, I don't believe that at all. I believe that sex is a gift is from both parties. Men can give women great sex. Women can give men great sex. But I'm not going to buy into this. I will never dance around and be a little dancing monkey just to try to get some sex. Nope. I'm good. So the whole background of this is that women have this entitlement that sex is such this amazing gift that they give to men. Which again, at one point in time, I would agree with that. Because if she decided to save it for someone special, then it does become a gift of value. But when she passes it out all over town to all different men, it does not become anything valuable, not this precious gift anymore. Females of other species would be appalled by women who let men have sex with them after walk in the park dates. So look at this, guys. Now a walk in the park is not good enough for a date. Nope, you gotta spend money on her. or else women should be appalled. Again, it just shows you that if you're not bringing something to the table, if you're not providing for women, you're not providing her an experience or something, then you as a person, just you as a man, well, it's just not enough, guys. They don't love us like we're told that they love us. It just doesn't happen. Just one of those great secrets of the gynocentric society. Only the best and most impressive men get to mate and spread their genes. That's biology. Men should have to impress and provide to have sex because it's biology. Well, if women all held men to this degree, this standard, then they might have a point. But they don't, so they don't have a point. Women shouldn't give low-value men a second chance. It's biology. I honestly believe it's also the reason that men dislike women who sleep with them so readily. You know what? I got to get back to this part here. Women shouldn't give low-value men a second glance. It's biology. Okay. If we are going to go by your biology argument, which, women already go by. It's their hypergamy. We already know this. They don't settle for men that are lower than them. So they already living by their biology. But what they don't do is they don't allow men to live by our biology, which means that when a woman hits 30 and her looks and her fertility is decreasing significantly, biology tells men that we want young, attractive, and fertile women. So if you're going to shove this biology argument down our throats, then you need to taste this one and just have this delicious sweet taste as you are eating this wall sandwich that you will be eating very soon if you have not already swallowed it completely. I honestly believe it's also the reason that men dislike women who sleep with them so readily. I am against slut shaming and do believe that if a woman truly wants to sleep with men right off the bat, then all power to her. Yep, it's always going to be, if a woman, whatever choice a woman makes, empowerment, all power to her. But whatever choice a man makes gets ridiculed. It gets critiqued. We're not allowed to make our choices. Only women are allowed to make their choices. Her body, her choice. However, from a biological standpoint, it would make her unattractive. Correct. Which is why so many men are like, nah, I'm not trying to commit with any of these modern women. They are unattractive in what they bring to the table. If they're physically attractive, that doesn't necessarily matter, because if you want commitment type for a man, physically attractive is not going to cut it. Sure, that can cut it for sleeping with her, which is why that's what happens. And women have a hard time finding commitment these days. But that's because, honestly, that is the only thing that they are useful for right now as far as intersexual dynamics. Now, I personally enjoy having conversations with women. I think women are interesting in the way they think about things. I get benefit from that. If I'm out and about, that to me is fun. But when I talk about in intersexual dynamics, if I were going to commit to a woman, and I feel that most men are this way, if I'm going to commit to a woman, then she's not providing me much with what she's bringing to the table these days, because there's just really not much loyalty. The attitude is just pretty like, trying to order men around and all that stuff. And then, yeah, sex, great. But again, men can get that without committing. So these days, commitment, there's not a lot that men benefit from, in my personal opinion. Females from other species do not mate with just any male, and especially don't mate without something in return. This is the same with females in our days. And males of other species know this. You know what? Actually, no. Maybe I'll rephrase that. Females from other species do not mate with just any male. Okay, that is different. That is what these women do these days, is they will mate, they will sleep with the Chad and Tyrones without those Chad and Tyrones having to do anything. They don't have to do much at all, and they will mate with them. So I guess that's different. See, women won't commit to a man in the human species here. Women will not commit to a man if he doesn't provide something in return. But the fact that they will sleep with men without asking for anything in return in that sense, from certain men, they most certainly make other men jump through hoops. That's on women. You cannot blame men for that. Why would a man not take sex without having to give anything in return? Why would a man not take that when you're talking about all this biology? Don't blame this on men. Males of other species have to fight hard for access to females. Well, unless you're a natural, what we say, the natural chatter tyrone, you're born into that, you have that huge muscular athletic frame and all that. This is what I say, man. Like, yeah, guys can learn game and can learn how to be a lot better at game and how to game women, how to understand women, and how to position themselves in a really high status way. Absolutely. But I know this, and I won't lie to any guy. It's a lot of work. Yeah, I can teach a guy game, but it's a lot of work. So when guys are lining it up and they're going, do I really want to spend all of this time learning all of this game when the end reward won't be a committed, long-term, lasting relationship or marriage like it used to be? The end return is just, okay, when you have all this incredible game, you're able to go around and sleep with women on your terms when you want. That is, okay, that's a big benefit. But then again, there's also the consequences of STDs, of false accusations. There's the time spent that it takes when you're hanging out with these women. So when guys are lining all of this stuff up, they're going, yeah, it's just not worth it. I think deep down in human males, they also know this, and they are confused to why a woman would allow this. I know it's hypocritical and wrong of them to think lower of a woman who does it, but biologically it makes sense. So ladies, let's start reminding men of their real biological duties. All right, the thing I will end here with, and again, I'm going to try to be fair. See, here's the thing. If a woman will sleep around and give it up freely and all of that stuff, and then she hits 30, or then she goes, well, I want a serious commitment, I want a relationship, and then she tries to find a guy and give him specifically rules. Hey, that was what I was in my 20s, but I no longer just sleep around. So you better live up to my standards, or you don't deserve me. See, that's what a lot of these women do. So that's where when she says, so ladies, let's start reminding men of their real biological duties. That's where guys are like, no, get out of here. You are a clown. You're an absolute clown, thinking that you can make these rules on these guys once your biological value decreases, once you no longer can give healthy offspring to men, once you no longer look the same and are as attractive and sweet and nurturing as you maybe were once in your younger years. So they want men to ignore their biology only when it suits women. Now, here is where I will be fair, and I will go on record saying this. If there became this mass movement where women were, when they say let's start reminding men of their biological duties, if women went on this mass movement, I'm talking from a young age, like women knew this. Let's just say that women in their popular culture, it was like, hey, ladies, do not sleep with a man. No. You wait until you find a man that will love and cherish you, and then once you guys get married, then you give it up to him. If all women did this, then I actually believe that's a great thing for society. I think that will help families become more productive and last longer. I think it will help so much stuff with the pair bonding and all of everything. So I will happily go on record saying, if that day comes, I will never teach a man how to game a woman to get her to just sleep with him if, honestly, the entire generation of women had the mindset where they wanted to wait until marriage. And they actually stuck to that. I would be happy to do that because that would be a great move for society. But until that day happens, I'm going to keep giving men the tools to play the game in the only sane way to play that. And that is to be single, have your fun, play it on your terms, and if she wants to come join your life, then all right, you can think about allowing her, but never do it on her terms. Never, put up with her demands and all that crap, because she will give it away freely to the men that don't put up with that. So until that stigma changes, don't expect us men to change, because, there are a lot of men that I know. I mean, I really do know a lot of men that are like, hey, I would happily, wait till marriage. And if I just knew I would happily provide for a woman and a family of ours. I know a lot of men that would be their dream. Like, hey man, I'm totally cool. Wait until marriage and just having it with a woman if they knew that would last and they could build a family and they wouldn't have to worry about their kids being taken away from them. They wouldn't have to worry about this crazy statistic of like 80% of women filing for divorce and then them getting, divorce raped and all of that crap and all of the games and all of this other nonsense. So until that day comes, guys, stay single, have fun, and don't put up with these silly clown shenanigans. I'm sure there are some comments in this one, but man, I'm not in. No, went too long, man. The biology argument is in our favor. Yeah, okay. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share the video, but definitely subscribe.